morning students. In the previous session from rotational motion we discussed various kind of physical quantities. They are angular displacement, it is represented by theta. Angular velocity, it is represented by omega, and angular acceleration alpha. And also we discussed the relation between linear velocity and angular velocity, that is v bar is equal to r bar cross omega bar. Linear acceleration and angular acceleration, that is a bar is equal to r bar cross alpha bar. And also we discussed the equation of motion for a body moving in circular orbit as like straight line motion. Okay na? So these are the some of the physical quantities we are already discussed in the previous session. In this session we are going to discuss some more physical quantities belongs to a rigid body which is in rotational motion. The first one is movement of force or torque. Okay, movement of force or torque, it is the another physical quantity. What is meant by the force? We know force is the physical quantity which changes state of rest and state of motion in a straight line. As the same way in rotational motion, in order to move the object we need to supply some external force. That external force belongs to rotational motion is called torque. So in rotational motion, in order to move the object we have to supply the external torque. So force is the physical quantity changes state of rest and state of motion in a straight line motion. Torque is the physical quantity which changes state of rest and state of motion in rotational motion. Now we are going to discuss and derive expression for the torque, and what is the use of the torque and what are the dependent factors. We know in our house we have doors and windows. Okay, so this is the axis of rotation of the door. We have some hinges at the axis of rotation of the doors. These are called hinges, that is clips to fit the door. Okay na? And we are having knob at the end of the door. Okay, so in order to open or close the door we supply some external force. The rotation of the door not only depends on applied force, it is also depends on point of application. Let us consider 3 points. One is at the hinges, another is at the midpoint of the door, and another point at the end of the door, that is at the knob. Okay na? If we apply the force at the hinges, the door is not opened. Okay na? As the same way, with the same magnitude, if we apply the force at point 2, here also it is difficulty to open the door when we apply the force at point 2. Okay na? As the same way, if you apply the same magnitude of the force at point 3, that is at the knob, the door will easy to open. So we can conclude that the rotation of the door or opening or closing the door not only depends on applied force, it is also depends on point of application. Okay na? So in order to open or close the door or window, we need to supply some external force, that is torque. Now we are going to derive the relation between applied force and the point where the force is applied, that is the distance from the axis of rotation. Okay na? So let us consider a particle P in the XY plane. Okay. Now a force is applied on the particle in order to rotate. Okay na? Let r bar be the position vector, represents the position of the particle. Okay na? Now the perpendicular distance, let it be r sin theta. Okay, we know in two dimensional the vector can be resolved into two components, one is r sin theta, another one is r cos theta. So this is the direction of lines of action of force. Okay na? So in order to open or close the door, here we apply the force at an angle to the direction of lines of action of force. Let theta be the angle. The angle between F bar and R bar is theta. Okay na? Then the torque is defined as simply the turning effect of force. Torque is defined as the turning effect of force, and also we defined it is the product of force. It is the product of force and perpendicular distance. Force and perpendicular distance from the lines of action of force from a fixed point. Okay na? It is a product of force and perpendicular distance from the lines of action of force from a fixed point. So the perpendicular distance is r sin theta. So tau is equal to F into r sin theta. So in vector form we can write tau bar is equal to r bar cross F bar. Tau bar is equal to r bar cross F bar. So what is meant by the torque? The turning effect of force is called torque. Okay na? And is also defined as the product of force and perpendicular distance from the lines of action of force to the point of application, that is from a fixed point. Tau bar is equal to r bar cross F bar. It is a vector quantity. Okay na? In anti-clockwise direction it is taken as positive, in clockwise direction it is taken as negative. Since the direction of tau bar is perpendicular to the plane contained r bar and F bar. Okay na? The direction of tau bar is perpendicular to the plane contained r bar and F bar. It can be explained with the help of right hand thumb rule. If the forefinger indicates the direction of r, F indicates the direction of force, thumb indicates the direction of the torque. In anti-clockwise direction it is positive and clockwise direction it is negative. And the SI units of torque is Newton meter. CGS units of torque is Dine centimeter. It is a vector quantity. So this is about torque. Okay na? And our next topic is moment of couple. It is represented with C. So, what is meant by the couple? Couple is nothing but a pair of forces. Couple is nothing but a pair of forces. Two equal, unlike parallel forces, whose lines of action are not in the same direction. Okay na? Two equal, unlike parallel forces, whose lines of action are not in the same direction constitute a couple. Let us consider two forces of equal magnitudes, say F and F, acting on a body in opposite direction in order to rotate the object. Let D be the distance between two forces. Okay na? Then couple or moment of couple is defined as the product of force and perpendicular distance between two forces. Okay na? Moment of couple is defined as the product of the one of the force and the perpendicular distance between two forces. Say C is equal to F into D. So, the units of couple is same as torque. So, SI units is Newton meter, CGS units is dyne centimeter. So, what is meant by the moment of couple? Simply, it is pair of two unlike parallel forces whose lines of action are not in the same direction, or two forces acting on the body in opposite direction constitute a couple. So, the general examples which are going on in our regular life, that is, if you want to spin the ball, we apply the couple on the top of the ball in order to rotate the ball. Okay. As the same way, if you use the screwdriver, we apply the couple on the screwdriver, head of the screwdriver. And also, if you want to open the knob of the door, we apply the couple on the knob of the door. As the same way, if you want to open the tap, water tap, we apply the couple on the top of the tap. So, these are the general examples which are going on in our regular life. So, what is meant by the moment of force or torque? The turning effect of the force is called torque. Simply, we can say that it is a product of the force and perpendicular distance from the lines of action of force from a fixed point. Okay na? In order to rotate the body, the rotation of the body not only depends on applied force, it is also depends on point of application, that is the distance from the axis of rotation. So, finally, tau bar is equal to R bar cross F bar, where R sin theta is the perpendicular distance from the axis of rotation, that is R sin theta. Okay na? The SI units of the torque is Newton meter, CGS units of the torque is dyne centimeter. It is similar to the force in straight line motion. And next one is moment of couple. It is the pair of two forces acting on the body in opposite direction constitute a couple. So, the units of couple is same as units of the torque, and C is equal to F into D, where D is the perpendicular distance between two forces. And our next topic is moment of inertia. We know what is meant by the inertia. Inertia is nothing but the inability of the body to change state of rest, state of motion and state of direction itself. Okay na? So, mass is the measurement of inertia. We know already which is discussed in the last chapter, that is in laws of motion. So what is meant by the inertia? The inability of the body to change state of rest, state of motion and state of direction by itself. Lesser mass body has lesser inertia, heavier mass body has heavier value of inertia, that is high value of inertia. Mass is the measurement of inertia, okay na, in straight line motion. As the same way, moment of inertia is the measurement of inertia in circular motion, okay na. So moment of inertia is the property, okay na, developed inside the body. It is the measurement of inertia in circular motion. So here the inability of the body to change state of rest, state of motion and state of direction itself in circular path. Then how to measure the inertia of the body? What are its dependent factors? Let us consider a body of mass m, that is it consists of number of particles, okay na. So let it be rigid body, let m1, m2, m3 are the number of particles in the body. So this is the axis of rotation, okay na. Let m1 is at a distance r1, m2 is at a distance r2, m3 is at a distance r3 from the axis of rotation. The body rotating about a fixed axis, okay. Let m1, m2, m3 and so on masses of the particles in the body. We know the kinetic energy of the first particle m1 in linear motion of m1 v1 square, say it is ke1. Similarly, kinetic energy of the second particle of m2 v2 square and kinetic energy of the third particle of m3 v3 square and so on. The kinetic energy of the nth particle of mn vn square, okay na. So these are the kinetic energies, linear kinetic energies of the individual particles. Now the kinetic energy of the body, total kinetic energy Ke is equal to Ke1 plus Ke2 plus Ke3 and so on the nth particle, okay. So total kinetic energy Ke is equal to half m1 v1 square plus half m2 v2 square plus half m3 v3 square and so on plus half mn vn square, okay. Ke is equal to half m1. We know V is equal to r omega square, where omega is the uniform angular velocity, that is constant angular velocity. All the particle possesses same angular velocity of m2 r2 omega whole square plus of m3 r3 omega square and so on plus mn Rn omega whole square. Okay. So finally kinetic energy K is equal to half m1 r1 square omega square plus half m2 r2 square omega square plus half m3 r3 square omega square and so on mn rn square omega square. Okay na? So kinetic energy K is equal to half m1 r1 square plus m2 r2 square m3 r3 square and so on plus mn rn square by taking omega square is common. Okay. Say it is equation 1. We know in translatory motion kinetic energy Ke is equal to half m v square, where m is the total mass of the body, v is the linear velocity. Here mass is the measurement of inertia. Mass is the measurement of inertia. In the place of mass we have m1 r1 square plus m2 r2 square plus m3 r3 square and so on mn rn square. In the place of linear velocity we have angular velocity. Okay na? So the above expression can be written as Ke is equal to half sigma I is equal to 1 to n mi r I square omega square. Okay na? So say it is equation 2 and equation 3. Okay na? Comparing equation 2 and 3, in the place of m we have sigma I is equal to 1 to n mi r I square. Okay na? So the above expression can be written as Ke is equal to half I omega square. Half I omega square. In the place of m we have I, where I is equal to sigma I is equal to 1 to n mi r I square. In the place of v we have omega square. So this is the expression for the rotational kinetic energy. So this is linear kinetic energy and this is rotational kinetic energy. In the place of m we have I. Mass is the measurement of inertia, where I is the measurement of inertia in a rotational motion, where I is called moment of inertia, where I is called moment of inertia. So finally moment of inertia I is equal to sigma I is equal to 1 to n mi r I square. Okay na? If m is the total mass of the body, r is the effective distance, so we can write I is equal to m r square. Okay na? So the expression for the moment of inertia in circular motion, I is equal to mr square, where m is the total mass of the body and r is the effective distance from the axis of rotation. So moment of inertia can be defined as it is the product of sum of the masses of the all the particles, sum of the masses of the all the particles and square of the distance from the axis of rotation. Okay na? It is the product of sum of the masses of the all the particles and square of the distance from the axis of rotation. I is equal to m r square. It is a scalar quantity. It is a scalar quantity, and the SI units of moment of inertia kg meter square and CGS units are gram centimeter square. It is a scalar quantity and it depends on distribution of the mass of the particles, okay na, and axis of rotation. It is depends on distribution of the mass of the particles, that is mass of the body, and axis of rotation. These are the dependent factors of moment of inertia, okay na. So what is meant by the moment of inertia? It is the measurement of inertia in circular motion. It is the product of mass and square of the distance from the axis of rotation, and it is a scalar quantity, and its SI units kg meter square, CGS units gram centimeter square. Mass is the measurement of inertia in straight line motion. Moment of inertia is the measurement of inertia in circular motion. And our next topic is another physical quantity belongs to rotational motion is radius of gyration. Let us consider an axis of rotation, say O and O dash. A body of mass capital M is rotates in a circular orbit about an axis of rotation O and O dash. Let P be the center of mass, that is the point where the entire mass of the body is concentrated, okay na. It is the point where the total mass of the body is concentrated is called center of mass. Let the point P is at a distance k from the axis of rotation, okay na, where k is the perpendicular distance from the axis of rotation. Now what is meant by the radius of gyration? Radius of gyration is nothing but it is the perpendicular distance from the axis of rotation to the point where the entire mass of the body is concentrated, or it is the perpendicular distance from the axis of rotation to the center of mass of the body, that is O dash is equal to mk square. If I is the moment of inertia about an axis O dash is equal to mk square. We know I is equal to sigma I is equal to 1 to n mi r I square. So I is equal to mk square, where k square is equal to I by m, k is equal to root over I by m, that equal to root over I by sigma I is equal to 1 to n mi ri square, okay na. K is equal to root over I by m, that is equal to sigma I is equal to 1 to n mi, where sigma I is equal to 1 to n is the total mass of the body, okay na. So the units of moment of inertia is kg meter square, total mass of the body is m, okay na. The units of mass is also kg. So finally the SI units of radius of gyration is meter and CGS units is centimeter, okay na. So what is meant by the radius of gyration? It is the perpendicular distance from the axis of rotation to the center of mass of the body, okay na. So different bodies having the different values of radius of gyrations, depends on geometrical shape of the body. So the radius of gyration depends on again axis of rotation, distribution of the mass, and also temperature. With increasing the temperature, the value of radius of gyration is also increases, and it is independent on angular velocity, frequency and time period. Okay na? It depends on axis of rotation, distribution of the mass of the bodies, and also depends on temperature. With increasing the temperature, the value of k is increases, and it is independent on angular velocity, frequency and time period. It depends on nature of the bodies or dimensions of the bodies. Different dimensions of the bodies possesses different values of k. Okay na? So this is about radius of gyration. So in this session we discuss about torque, couple, moment of inertia and radius of gyration.